Good afternoon, everyone. It is so nice to see a room full of smiling faces today. So welcome. My name is Julie Brown, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies today. As a proud local resident, I am thrilled to welcome you as Umicore breaks ground on its battery materials production plant right here in Loyalist Township, Ontario. Umicore acknowledges that we are being hosted on the ancestral lands of the Haudenosaunee, Mississauga, and the Huron nations. The lands we are on today are recognized in the Two-Row Wampum, Dish with One Spoon Treaty, Treaty 27, and the Crawford Purchase. In July of 2022, we announced together with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau the intention to invest in Loyalist and build an EV battery materials plant. Now, just a bit more than 1 year later, we're extremely happy and proud to officially break ground and create the missing link in Canada's sustainable EV battery value chain, right here in Loyalist Township. It is a day of celebration, of partnerships, of building a greener future for tomorrow together. We would like to warmly welcome all the dignitaries, customers, Umicore staff, and special guests who have joined us here today to celebrate this milestone. As we begin our ceremonies today, I would like to invite Chief R. Donald Markle from the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte to offer a welcome to the land.
On behalf of Umicore, I'm offering this tobacco for the open remarks of our groundbreaking ceremony. Thank you very much for being with us today. Thank you.
Premier Ford, other distinguished ministers of the Crown, Minister Champagne, Minister Fideli, the Ambassador of Belgium, and all the officials from Umicore. I bring you greetings and best wishes from the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte, and I welcome you to the traditional hunting ground of our people. It is our custom to look to the Creator for guidance in all that we do and say in our conduct with each other. And so we have a tradition, it's called the Thanksgiving Address, which we acknowledge the things in creation and the Creator's blessing for us. So if you would join your hearts and your minds and spirit in a spirit of friendship and thanksgiving as we look to the Creator, I'll say these prayers in my language first of all, then I'll tell you what it means in English. Gunjokwa sadawan siyos gunigari wesa na egadi ahodum gariwatego unga de wat no hohade agwego unska adeniwe noni no gwat nigora dano de tiniwe rados ne ogwe sunha asuk agwego skuno agonhage agwego unska adeniwe noni ne gwat nigora dano de tiniwe rados ne yedetni stunha jiwanjade jisego yatko gaho tajes ago satstonsera na ayoni yohage agwego unska adeniwe noni Neongwa Nigora, Dano, de Tiniwe Rados, ne Agwego, Yonkion was a Gio Anjade. Agwego, Unska, Adeniwe Noni, Neongwa Nigora, Dano, de Tiniwe Rados, ne Agwego, Yonkion was a G Garonhiade. Dano, Ono, Gadi, Agwego, de Siwe Noe Rado, ne Sunkwayat Dizo, ne Gasat Stonsera, sa Oyera, Eto, Neo, Dunhak, Ongwa Nigora. And it translates into the English language. My people, listen for a short time. The business has now come to pass. Everyone, we will bring our minds together as one and send our greetings to the people so that peace will continue for all. Everyone, we will bring our minds together as one and send our greetings to our Mother the Earth as she still goes along giving up her own strength to enable us to live good lives. Everyone, we will bring our minds together as one and send our greetings to all things that support us on the earth. Everyone, we'll bring our minds together as one and send our greetings to all the things that support us in the sky and in the heavens. And now we send our thanksgiving and our greetings to Sunkoya Diesel, the creator, the great strength of the natural world. Let this always continue in our minds. And I know that many of you come from European cultures, and so I'll say a Christian prayer as well. Sunkwat niha na garong hiagi de shidarong, wogasanada gondi saya netzra andawat. Jinunsere in nawa ne hohanjagi, jonanito ne garong hiagi, dagyo ne go nisaradi, yet ne nisaragi gunadaronk ni ona dundagariosto, ne junkwari wanero. Jita the Gary with Stonies ne rowdy, ne ronaxero, ego isisalam, na gaya netzra, na gasat stonsera, ne always onsra, Jinyahoe, awa. And you would know this in English, it's Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. So on behalf of our community, I wish Umicore all the best wishes in this new battery material production plant. I will welcome the jobs that it'll create and greater economic strength for this region. And I would like everybody that's been involved for their cooperation with each other and wish everybody the best. Nyamuko.
Thank you, Chief Miracle, for that beautiful welcome to the land. Before I invite our next speaker to the stage, we have a brief video to share to introduce all of you to Umicore and the company's history of producing cathode materials. Now that we've all learned a little bit more about Umicore, I would like to invite the CEO of Umicore, Matthias Mitra, to offer his opening remarks.
So first of all, thank you very much, Chief Miracle, for these beautiful words. Dear Mr. Champagne, dear Premier Ford, dear Minister Fedeli, dear Ambassador Van Geel, dear Mayor Hagedorn, dear partners, dear guests, thank you for being here today to celebrate with us this significant and very exciting day for Umicore. Today we are opening and writing a new chapter for our company that goes beyond just the groundbreaking of a new site. First, for Umicore, it starts our entry in the North American market. It's the start of our battery material supply chain in North America, providing local security of supply for our customers. And with this, we are also completing our global footprint. This will be now the 4th world region that we are now producing cathode active materials, and we are only one of the few companies in the world who can say that. Secondly, this plant will be unique. It will be one of its kind because it will combine cathode active materials with precursors, and that's the first plant that will do that in North America and in Canada. So it's a pioneer also in that sense. So I want to say a little bit about how this came together, this factory and this plant that we have in front of us. And for that, dear Minister Champagne, dear François-Philippe, dear Premier Ford, dear Doug, and dear Minister Fedeli, dear Wick. Our first exchanges had started already 2 years ago. I was, and I'm still struck, and I told it to you just before, by the excellent collaboration that we have seen, by the professionalism and the dedication of your teams to bring this thing together. I'm also struck by your energy, drive, and dedication. It could have been a weekend, a weekday, early in the morning, late at night. You have always been available to drive this project to success. As Umicore, we are active in many different countries. So I can clearly say that in comparison, in Ontario, in Canada, you gentlemen are setting a benchmark. You are driving projects as if they were a business, and I can tell you even many business people can learn from you in terms of a can-do attitude that we have seen. In fact, this project is your business because of the vision that your country has in putting together a full and thriving EV supply chain as a part of a low-carbon future. The Auto Pact will create large-scale, high-quality jobs, will bring innovation to this key industry. I admire this vision, and most of all of the actions behind to make it a reality. Thank you very much for that. Now it is up to us to realize the goals of that project, and I do promise that Umicore, that this plant in Loyalist will not only deliver a return on investment, it will be much more. We will be contributing to the community and the economy with jobs, with innovation. Our technologies will contribute to realizing the vision of the country and to the electrification strategies of our customers, of which several are also present here today. And all in all, it will enable us together to contribute to the well-being of the planet by reducing CO2 emissions. So in true partnership, we will make very good use of your support to the benefit of Ontario and Canada and give back to the community. We are looking forward to continuing our journey together, to even deepening our ties and foster respectful relations as well with the indigenous community upon whose territories we will be building and working. Ladies and gentlemen, in short, we will deliver on our promises on this project. Dear Matsumoto, Mr. Matsumoto, where are you? Here you are. I wanted to personally thank you. We wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for you, our customers and key partners. Umicore and AESC unite a shared vision to develop a true CO2 neutral battery and ultimate battery electric vehicle. It was clear that our shared convictions would in time be translated into the strong partnership that we have today. I want to really thank you for your trust and support and look forward to expand this partnership even further, standing on the strong foundation of shared values and ambitions. I also wanted to thank you for your trust, Mr. Brandelhuber. I think Mr. Brandelhuber is over there, exactly. I don't know if you know, but BMW and Umicore go back more than 3 decades in being partners in the business of automotive catalysts. And we are extremely excited to now being part of the journey into electrification, to bring this chapter of the partnership to the next level, into the next decade. We are very proud that our cathode active materials will be powering the 6th generation of the BMW eDrive technologies to increase charging speed, to increase energy density, and with that range, but also decrease at the same time harmful CO2 emissions. We are very much looking forward to this next evolution of this partnership and want to thank you for your trust. Umicore's history is rooted in Belgium. With more than 200 years in business, we've written quite a few chapters and went through multiple transformations and scope changes. Today marks another significant chapter in realizing our vision towards a true clean mobility. It's a great day for Umicore. Before I hand over now to His Excellency Ambassador Van Geel, please allow me to say one additional thank you. And this thank you goes out to all of the Umicore teams and the partners that have been working since 2 years relentlessly to execute that project. You have been writing history for Umicore. You can be very, very proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mitrai, for sharing more about Umicore and this exciting project in Loyalist. As he mentioned, we are very pleased that the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Belgium to Canada, His Excellency Patrick Van Geel, is here today as Belgium-based Umicore celebrates this Canadian milestone. Please welcome the Ambassador to the stage.
Dear Mr. Champagne, dear Premier Ford, dear Mr. Fedeli, dear Chief, dear Mayor, dear Matthias, dear all, it's a pleasure to see you again in Kingston for yet another step taken in our stronger relations between Canada and Belgium, and I'm going to say particularly the province of Ontario. For a number of years, our economic footprint in Canada and in Ontario has been on the rise, with increasing trade figures and investments. There are now over 80 Belgian companies active in Canada, and over half of them are active here in Ontario, and they employ over 7,500 people. I cannot think of a more symbolic example than the one today with Umicore to illustrate this growing footprint. And I want to congratulate, like Matthias did, once again all the teams that have been working very hard to make this announcement not for announced last year, but also coming to fruition today. Symbolic, also because this investment is a major part in a sector, green transition, that is of utmost importance both to Belgium, Canada, and the European Union, of which Belgium will hold the rotating presidency next year. Today, I want to reiterate that our interests are aligned and that through investments and partnerships like today's, once we need those special relations between our countries. Next month, I will go on a tour to southern Ontario, where many other Belgian companies are active, and we will once again showcase the strong and dynamic ties that bind us. Last but not least, I want to highlight that the work of our dynamic Belgian-Canadian Business Chamber, which is formally established in Toronto and has Umicore now among its 30 privileged partners. In short, we're partners, we're friends, and with announcements like today, I can only be proud to be the Belgian ambassador in Canada. Congratulations once again, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ambassador. This exciting project is the first of its kind in Canada. We are honored today to have a representative from the Government of Canada here to help mark this occasion. Please welcome Canada's Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, the Honourable François-Philippe Champagne.
What a day, what a day. I see Premier Ford smiling already, and Vic, and what a day, everyone. I don't know how you feel, but this is a great day for Ontario, great day for Loyalist Township, great day for Canada. I am excited. I was watching you, Matthias, and remembering, like you said, the number of phone calls, text messages, and everything we've done together. And today, here we are. So bonjour tout le monde. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is yet another important milestone as we continue to position Canada as the leader of choice and as a global EV supplier. And before I go even further, let me acknowledge a few people. Premier Ford, first, it's always a pleasure to be with you. I would say Premier, because every time we're together, it's about jobs, it's about growth, it's about opportunities. And we are really together building Ontario as an economic powerhouse. So I want to acknowledge in front of everyone here, and you said it, Matthias, the role of the Premier was really key in making sure that we achieve that today, and we should all be proud of what we have achieved together. Yet again, we have demonstrated to the world that we could be the most attractive jurisdiction. Trust me, when I first met Matthias, he needed a bit of convincing. But now we are here today, and it's a great pleasure to be all together. To my friend Vic Fedeli, I could not think of best ally, Vic, to attract generational investments in this country. I think when history is going to be written, you have done amazing work for this country and for the province. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we're just getting started, by the way. So just watch us for the next few months and few years. There's a lot that we're going to be doing together, but today is a great accomplishment. And Matthias said, the teamwork we have done, I think it provides a lot of confidence to investors when we speak with one voice. And that's what we've done, and I'm very proud we have achieved that. Let me say a few words to Mark Gerritsen. I think my colleague Mark Gerritsen, which is the MP for Kingston and the Island, Mark, as you know, is a bit big. It's a bit taller than me. He's a real force of nature, and I want to thank him, or at least in the news tonight, he's going to see that. How many times he talked to me, Mayor, about this project, you could not believe. Every time I walked down to question period, he was around and making sure that I would remember. So I want to thank him on behalf of everyone here today. He's been playing a big role. And I also want to say hello to Shelby Cramp-Newman, which is the local MP, which just happened to sit just in front of me in Parliament. So I'm giving her a shout-out today. Matthias, I went back to our first message, and I looked back, and it was on January 10, 2022 at 7:26 a.m. And so I want to say thank you to your vision, thank you to your leadership, and thank you also to your personal involvement. Because I know you had a choice. And the fact that you selected Ontario and that you selected Canada as the base for your North American operation is a huge vote of confidence. And you know, when we started, you and I, with Vic and Premier Ford, nothing was taken for granted. Now, you know, Bloomberg ranked Canada second in the world for the battery ecosystem. But when we started, we were just getting there. And thanks to people like you who have trusted us and now have established your headquarters, and now not only headquarters, but your production for North America and Canada is a big testament. And I want to say, Matsumoto-san, thank you for being with us, and to our friends of BMW. Not only I tried to convince you, Matthias, but I went to your customers to convince them to convince you. So this was really a team effort to make sure you would come in Ontario and in Canada. Mayor, where are you, Mayor? I can't see you. Oh, here you are, Mayor. Listen, you've been a good partner as well, and I want everyone in town to know that you've been a partner of choice. And when we did that, and your role was very key because they were looking for a site. And if anyone wants to see what a multi-billion-dollar smile looks like, just look at the mayor and you'll see what a multi-billion-dollar investment does to a smile. This is going to be transformational to Loyalist Township, to the community, and I would say even the whole region. And that's why we're so proud that we have been able to achieve that. Ambassador, Monsieur l'Ambassadeur, c'est un plaisir de vous revoir. Merci de vous être déplacé pour l'occasion aujourd'hui. You're right, there's a lot of good things going on between Belgium and Canada, and thanks for your work on that. To Chief, I want to say thank you, Chief. Your involvement and obviously your blessing put us in the right space in our mind to look at the future. Look at future generations, because this is a gift for future generation. We decided with the Premier and Vic to invest because we knew that what we're building here, future generation will look back and say, we enter into the technology of the future, providing jobs, opportunities, and at the same time protecting our land as we go into greener industries. So we're very pleased to have you with us. And finally, I just want to say to the some 600 workers that are going to be joining the Umicore family. I know many of you in Belgium, some of you in Canada, but Premier will recall, I always say thank you to all the workers. It's thanks to your knowledge, it's thanks to your expertise and talent that we can really attract significant investments like that. Believe it or not, the first thing that Matthias asked me was not money, but he asked me to confirm that we had talent. And this is very easy when you're a Canadian minister to say, there's a lot of talent here, and that's why you came to Canada. And I see Mark Gerritsen in the back, so you made it, my friend. You're taller than about everyone, so it's easy to see. But I just want to say, again, thank you to all the workers who are going to join the family. On le sait, tout le monde, on le voit, il y a une véritable révolution mondiale qui est en cours dans le domaine des véhicules électriques. Et alors que de plus en plus de pays se bousculent pour attirer des grands joueurs du secteur automobile de demain, je pense qu'on peut dire que le Canada se démarque. Et je le disais avant, même Bloomberg nous met maintenant deuxième dans le classement mondial pour l'écosystème des batteries qu'on a bâti. And over the past 2 years, we have built a world-class battery supply chain, attracting some of the world's leaders in the auto and battery industries. You just think about Volkswagen. You just have to think about Stellantis, Ford, GM, which have partnered with some global companies like obviously Umicore, LG, POSCO, EcoPro, and SK. The world is looking at us, as you know, at Premier. I'm always smiling with Vic and the Premier to say all our phones are ringing. You know, everyone wants to come in Canada, which is a good thing because these companies realize that they just don't wake up and decide to come to Canada. There's been a lot of work. But I would say that they realize that Canada offers talent. Canada offers ecosystem. Canada's offer critical minerals. Canada offers renewable energy. And Canada offers access to markets. And I think this is what we put on the table that have been centerpiece. That's why we have seen companies like Umicore choosing to come to Canada. Ces entreprises ont choisi le Canada parce que la main-d'œuvre est simplement, pour dire, excellente dans le domaine, évidemment, des véhicules électriques. Ces entreprises ont choisi le Canada parce qu'on a une abondance d'énergie propre et de minéraux critiques. Et ces entreprises ont choisi le Canada parce qu'on a un accès inégalé aux marchés internationaux. And you will recall, I told you, we have access to 1.5 billion consumers on a preferential basis. And it's for the same reasons that Umicore has chosen Ontario and Loyalist to establish its North American hub. And what they're going to be producing here, for folks who are watching at home, is going to be supplying an estimated 800,000 EV vehicle per year. So this is very significant. Mayor, there'll be a piece of Loyalist Township rolling in the roads of North America for generations to come. And I think that you should be very proud. And I think everyone deserves a big round of applause for that. It's not every day that you can say that everyone in North America is going to have a piece of Loyalist Township as they roll over. But as we put shovels in the ground for what will be, as Matthias said, Canada's first PCAM production facility, that's going to fill a critical gap because the vision we had with the Premier and Minister and the Prime Minister Trudeau, which I want to acknowledge, was really to have a complete supply chain. So we wanted to make sure that we have all the elements to build the electric vehicle of the future in Canada. And I would say what you're doing, the precursor to cathode active material, was key to make sure that we could build that full supply chain that goes from critical minerals to even recycling. And let me tell you, when I travel to Asia and Europe and they talk to me about St. Thomas, Windsor, or even Bécancour in Quebec, now it's going to be nice to hear that they're going to be talking to me about Loyalist Township as well. So Loyalist Township is going to be in the minds of everyone watching today because the auto sector is watching what's happening. And so, like I said, we could not have done that without partners like my friends in Ontario. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Premier Ford and Vic, for your support, for your dedication, but also for your friendship. We have demonstrated, and when we work together, everything becomes possible. Today is all about vision. Today is all about possibilities. Today is all about opportunities. So let's seize the moment. Let's be ambitious, and let's build the auto sector of the future right here in Ontario. Merci tout le monde.
Thank you very much, Minister. Umicore is very pleased to have the support of both the Government of Canada and the Government of Ontario in this exciting enterprise. We are very honored to have the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario. He has joined us today. Please give a warm welcome to Premier Ford.
Boy, I always joke around. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. It's pretty hard to follow Minister Champagne. I call him the Energizer Bunny. But I do, because he just goes, and Matthias, you've seen it, right? You've seen the energy, and welcome, by the way, and Umicore as a whole. And I'm thrilled to be here alongside the #1 salesperson for Ontario. Well, we say, you're #1 for Canada. Vic is #1 for Ontario. Thank you, Vic. I know you just came back from a long trip selling Ontario, selling Canada, and you're a champion, but it can't be done without the champions locally here, MPP Rick Breeze. Rick, great to see you, and our fellow counterparts, our MPs here, and as well as the whole team from Umicore. And Matthias, you sent me a nice text yesterday, and I was just looking forward to getting here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of Umicore's massive new facility in Loyalist Township. And this can't be put together without the mayor, yourself, your council, and the entire township. And anywhere we've gone, no matter Vic or Minister Champagne, it's always 3 levels. It's with the municipality, it's with the province, and it's with the federal government, it's with the private sector. So everyone has pitched in, and I just, again, I'm very grateful. But folks, before I begin, I just want to acknowledge the ambassador. Ambassador, great to see you. Please come down and pay me a visit down at Queen's Park any time. And Chief, thank you. Thank you so much. You know, when I was listening to you speak, I thought, what an out-of-box thinker. You're thinking out of the box. You're thinking of jobs and opportunities for your community. And I'm very, very grateful for the relationship with you and our Indigenous partners right across this great province, because, folks, I can tell you, without the support of the chief and his community, stuff like this just doesn't happen. So thank you again. I'm very, very grateful. And please, Chief, come and visit me down at Queen's Park as well. And a big shout out, again, with Umicore, and thank you for choosing Ontario. You know, we always said that we don't create business as government, but between the federal government, municipal, and provincial, we create the environment and the conditions for companies to come here and thrive and prosper and grow. And one of the things through Vic's leadership, we've cut over $8 billion of burden off the backs of companies to make ourselves more competitive, to compete against our great neighbors, and they are great neighbors south of the border or anywhere overseas, but people are coming by the droves. And I'll tell you a little story here, folks. Every night, every single night, I get a message from someone. And that message comes from that smiling guy in that beautiful yellow tie, Vic Fedeli. And he doesn't miss it. Like, it doesn't matter if it's New Year's Eve, if it's Christmas, if it's Easter, Thanksgiving. Every single day, he sends me a quick text message. You know, ABC company per se is coming, and this is what they're investing. This is how many people they're employing. So, again, thank you. And for your tremendous vote of confidence to the customers here, not only in Umicore, but also in Ontario. We're very grateful. And we've seen a growing EV sector growing to a tune in the auto sector alone. These are pretty staggering numbers. In less than 3 years, with the partnership of the federal government and the province, $26 billion. $26 billion of investment. We're the only jurisdiction in the entire world, just think of this, that have 7 of the largest auto manufacturers right here in Ontario. And I just can't wait for BMW to open up as well. I have to give the plug, right? I'm the salesperson. And the reason people pick Ontario, not only because we have a very attractive offers, but it's the quality of the people. It's the quality of the people that live here. It's our #1 selling feature. Some of the greatest colleges and universities I'll put up against anyone else in the entire world. You know, we have a new world-class facility which will encompass right here, if you look out there, is 350 acres. That's an amazing site. And produce enough battery materials, as you were saying, Francois, for 800,000 electric vehicles every single year. And the plan is going to create 600 direct jobs. And I always say in the auto sector, there's 7 spin-off jobs to every one job that we see here. That's 600 new jobs, and right across the province, it's going to be multiples of thousands of jobs. In fact, it's going to boost the economy and activity across mining, auto, manufacturing sectors, and the service sector as well. And that's why today I'm pleased to announce that our government is supporting Umicore's investment with nearly $425 million. So, you know, that's just your bonus this year alone, Vic. So you'll be foregoing your bonus, right? Altogether, investments from Umicore and the federal and provincial governments will total more than $2.7 billion. That's a big number. These investments will strengthen our homegrown electric vehicle supply chain and will help ensure that the cars of the future are made in Ontario by Ontario workers from start to finish, and a complete supply chain. As you heard the minister say, we want to make sure that every single company is here within the supply chain. Our government has a plan to be a world leader in electric vehicles and battery revolution. Always say we're an economic powerhouse in North America. We do approximately $460 billion of two-way trade with our largest trading partner. Now, if we were a standalone country, and I never recommend that, by the way, if we were a standalone country, we'd be the U.S.'s third largest trading partner. The only difference between ourselves and the number one and number two, Mexico and China, there's massive trade deficits with the U.S. with both those countries. Ours is pretty well split down the center. And we're the number one trading partner to 19 states, number two to 9 other states. And we're building a made-in-Ontario supply chain second to none. That's connecting the province's critical minerals and clean steel to automakers and battery manufacturers across Ontario. And over the past 3 years, as I mentioned, it's over $26 billion. And, you know, not to give out numbers, Vic, because I won't do that, but there's tens of billions of dollars more coming down the road, excuse the pun, but we're coming down the road with investments, with partnerships with the federal, municipal, and provincial governments. We're competing against other U.S. states like Michigan, that we just signed an MOU with, and Ohio, and we're winning. Folks, I spent a lot of years in the U.S. We had our facility in Chicago and New Jersey. I know a lot of great Americans. And when I call them up, you know, I barely wipe the smile off my face. I love them, but they're saying, what the heck are you guys doing, you know, to attract so many companies? When I met with the governor in Nevada, or the Congress folks from Arizona, or signing the MOU with Michigan, all within the last few weeks, and meeting with a lot of different groups in the U.S., they're just wow. That's the word, wow. I can't believe you're attracting these many companies. So I think we're the envy of the world, the envy of North America, but it doesn't happen alone. I keep reinforcing, you know, without the partnerships, I wouldn't even be standing up here on the stage. Companies like Umicore are choosing Ontario because of our competitive business environment, as I mentioned, cutting $8 billion of burden off companies, not once, every single year. Our skilled workforce, access to critical minerals, and I think everyone's heard of the Ring of Fire, the hundreds of billions of dollars that are sitting up at the Ring of Fire. No matter if we have the cobalt or the nickel or the lithium, whatever is needed, we have it up there, and I know the world wants it. And major markets also in North America are looking right here for our critical minerals. Friends, with great partners, with great companies, we're revitalizing our auto sector and making Ontario an auto manufacturing powerhouse, bigger and better than ever before. And the numbers speak for themselves. As I mentioned, we're producing, and I think we got to update these numbers, Vic, because it says 1.2 million vehicles every year. I think it's a lot higher than that, and it will be as we move forward. The automotive sector contributes an amazing $11.6 billion to our GDP and provides over 100,000 direct jobs and hundreds of thousands of indirect jobs. And folks, as you said, you took my line, Francois, but I agree, Minister, you know, we're just getting started. And we are just getting started. We're going to continue to attract even more investments, and we're going to keep investing in Ontario-made products and technologies and innovations right here. Together, we're leading the electric vehicle revolution. I want to thank you again to Umicore and your whole team for their investment, for expanding your footprint right here in Ontario, and for inviting me to speak today. I can't wait to come back and cut that ribbon. And thank you, and God bless each and every one of you. Now, I think my number one salesperson's coming up, but I'll let you introduce the champ of all champs. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Ford. Now, actually, before our next speaker, we are going to have a sneak peek of this innovative, first-of-its-kind facility. So let's take a look. Yes, it is impressive, isn't it? It's really going to transform this part of Loyalist Township. Now I'd like to introduce Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, the Honourable Vic Fedeli. Please welcome Minister Fedeli.
Well, I got to tell you, it's awfully hard to follow Francois and really, really hard to follow Premier Ford. This is going to be a tough one, but hello, everybody, and all of the distinguished guests who are here. This really is yet another historic day, a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation investment. What a great day for Umicore, and what a great day for Ontario. And as well, what a great day for Bath, Napanee, Kingston, and the whole region. So congratulations, as Francois would say, for Team Canada. This is a big win for Team Canada. So we all worked very closely together. As you heard, it is a $2.7 billion investment, and now it is a reality. We're making history today. This represents North America's first industrial-scale cathode active materials plant. And as you've heard as well, this investment marks the creation of 600 new, globally coveted, good-paying jobs for the region, including 1,000 jobs throughout the construction period and 700 co-op positions for students as the years go on. This project will make Umicore one of the largest private employers in all of Eastern Ontario. And this is another tremendous positive step forward in building up Ontario's end-to-end electric vehicle supply chain. So again, thank you, Umicore, for choosing Ontario. It's really been a pleasure working with you, with Francois, with the Premier. It's been a wonderful partnership that remains strong and will continue to grow. Our first meeting in Brussels was in the summer of 22, and Geert was with us. It was a wonderful opportunity to see you, Geert. And I know Kurt and Geraldine are not here today, but it really was an exciting time to make things happen. We knew that Ontario had absolutely everything that Umicore was looking for. Yes, it was the EV ecosystem that we had, our critical minerals in Ontario's north, manufacturing muscle in Ontario's south, the clean green electricity, the coal-free green steel, the only jurisdiction with all of these automakers here, 700 parts companies, 500 tool and die and mold makers, 400 connected and autonomous vehicle companies. But most importantly, what Umicore saw was our talent. Our workforce, and the success of all of the policies that the Premier talked about a minute or so. We showed Umicore how we've lowered the cost of doing business in Ontario by $8 billion. We showed them that we produce 65,000 STEM grads every year here in Ontario, 24 colleges and universities that offer automotive programs, and by choosing Ontario, they would be in the heart of the new EV revolution. So thank you very much. Now that Umicore is a key part of that reality, we want to say thank you to all of you and enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much, Minister Fedeli. Well, Umicore has received an overwhelmingly warm welcome from the people of Loyalist Township. We are honored to have His Worship, Jim Hedgedorn, Mayor of Loyalist Township, join us today and extend that welcome in person. Mayor Hedgedorn.
Welcome, everyone, to the wonderful place of Loyalist Township. As Mayor of Loyalist Township, I would like to thank Umicore once again for selecting our community for the location of their North American cathode active material facility. Since Umicore first announced the plans to build this facility in 2022, our community has been energized and eager to welcome them to Loyalist. Residents and businesses alike are anxiously watching the progression and waiting for this project's completion. Today's groundbreaking represents a huge step towards this goal. Although this is a historic day for Loyalist Township, as has been mentioned, this project also represents a huge economic boost to our regional economy. Economic development is a priority of Loyalist Township and the County of Lennox and Addington. We have worked extremely hard to establish a proactive business environment. Our geography, infrastructure, and access to skilled talent combine to make Loyalist a desirable location for economic development. I would like to also thank our staff at Loyalist Township and at the County of Lennox and Addington, along with my fellow council members, and MVP Rick Brzee, who spent a great deal of time developing a strong relationship with Umicore team since their introduction in the fall of 2021. From the beginning, it was clear that the values of both of our organizations align very well. Township staff, Umicore and their team, and the various provincial agencies are working diligently and cooperatively to ensure this project is successful and comes into operation on schedule. Finally, to the Umicore team, I'd like to reiterate my appreciation to you for placing your trust in our community. What an exciting day for Loyalist Township and for Umicore. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Hedgedorn. Well, the groundbreaking is almost upon us, but before we do that, we'd like to invite Ralph Kiesling, Executive Vice President, Umicore Battery Materials, to the stage. Mr. Kiesling is responsible for Umicore's battery materials business, of which the Loyalist plant will be a key project. Please welcome Mr. Kiesling.
Thank you, Mayor Hechedan, and good afternoon to everybody. I'm very, very proud to be here today with you, just moments away from a new era of Umicore here in Canada. Of all the groundbreakings I have attended so far, this is clearly one of the most memorable ones. This is not only the start of our plant here in Loyalist, it's also the start of our regional battery supply chain in Canada, in North America, and moreover, it's the start of our local-for-local presence now on 3 continents. I'm very, very grateful for all the support from the governments, from the communities, and of course from our launching customers, AESC and BMW. The long-term supply agreement with AESC is a very strong proof of trust that we can support them along their North American growth ambitions, and of course those of the customer BMW as well, and that will we support them here from Loyalist directly. Why Canada? Well, for me, it was a very natural choice to do the site selection here in Canada, because based on my very positive experience from the past. Even back in the 90s, I worked for Umicore Catalysis business at this time. We were operating a plant in Burlington, Ontario. And this plant is still leading edge in terms of productivity, in terms of quality, sustainability, and of course enabled by what Canada has to offer. So based on this very positive experience, I know that we can count on of Canada's fantastic workforce, the excellent infrastructure Canada has to offer, the availability of green energy supply, which is key for us because we are operating every new plant, and of course that in Loyalist as well, with green energy from the beginning on. And of course, Canada's commitment to electrification, enabled by the governments and by the communities. What is this plant about? What makes it very special? Well, it's the combination of production that we do here, cathode active material, and we do precursor that makes it very unique and also very efficient. These battery materials are key and core to the performance of every battery, and by the way, is the most valuable component in a battery. Loyalist will be also the home of the latest state-of-the-art battery materials plant. As it is now the 4th gigafactory in the world, it will combine all the best outcome of the experiences we had with constructing and with operating gigafactories in Asia and in Europe already. So we know how to engineer, how to build, and also to scale up. And this plant is also able and is equipped to produce all battery materials of Umicore, from the current high-nickel battery materials to the next generation of manganese-rich battery materials, and also midterm solid-state batteries, and of course also new developments like sodium-ion. So this plant is very versatile and can serve all the long-term requirements of our customers along their electrification journey. I feel that words of thanks cannot be repeated enough. As always in these vast projects, you need to have the right people, the right teams to make this happen. We can of course not mention them all, but our heartfelt thanks goes up to everybody. To name a few: the community of Loyalists, our future neighbors, and of the Lennox and Edding County. Thank you all very much for your very warm welcome. You were helping us out wherever we needed. The Economic Development Agency, from local to regional, from provincial to federal, you were supporting us right from the start. And of course, our project teams. You have been instrumental in selecting this 350-acre plot and so provide the ground for our future battery materials journey here in Canada. So I think we can all be very proud of what we have achieved so far, and I'm already looking forward to the next steps and to a successful future here in Loyalist. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kiesling. Well, before we unveil the groundbreaking moment, we have one last video that captures the essence of this remarkable journey we're about to embark on.
Over 25 years ago, we began our journey in battery materials. Cathode active materials and its precursors are the critical key components defining a battery's performance. We have continuously built on our know-how to bring the most innovative technology portfolio. We have expanded our production footprint in Europe and Asia to bring advanced battery materials closer to our customers, creating fully integrated and sustainable local-for-local value chains. Today marks the final step of Umicore's global production presence. We are completing the missing link in North America's sustainable EV battery value chain, building a precursor and cathode materials facility in Ontario, Canada. It will be fully equipped to produce the most advanced battery chemistries today and tomorrow, using renewable energy only, creating highly skilled jobs, and driving economic growth in the region. We are committed to being a trustworthy neighbor for the communities in Ontario and a reliable partner for the fast transformation towards clean electric mobility.
Now, because it is autumn in Ontario and you never know what the weather's going to do, we did have this lovely groundbreaking area ready in the event of rain. However, the sun is shining at this moment, so we are going to move outside to officially break ground. I invite everyone to join us outside. And then after the groundbreaking, you're allowed to come back in, enjoy more refreshments from Days on Front and Nora's of Kingston, and enjoy the sweet tunes of the Spencer Evans Trio. We look forward to raising a glass to powering the future of Loyalist Township.
have everything you need? I think it's done.
We're going to be in, you know where I was, sorry, I'm right here.
Yeah, maybe we'll start